Greetings from the Jazz Cloud. I'm Richie Zellon, and I want to welcome you to the Jazz Guitar channel. In today's video, I am going to interview Jay Wolfe, who is going to tell us all about how he and legendary jazz guitarist Kenny Burrell designed the Groove Master and the Super Kenny Burrell guitar model for Heritage. Jay is also going to show us the striking similarities of this newer guitar to that of a vintage 1934 Gibson Super 400. But hang in there, because it's not all going to be just talk. Between anecdotes, you're going to hear what these gorgeous six-string babes sound like as yours truly gets to noodle on them. Hello, I'm here in Jupiter, Florida with Jay Wolfe at his great guitar shop. I'm going to be asking Jay a few questions because he helped design this next guitar that I'm going to be showing you, and this is the Heritage Kenny Burrell. It's the Super
Kenny Burrell. Yeah.
Okay. So Jay, tell us a little bit about what went into designing this, and tell us a little bit about what Kenny's expectations were on this guitar. And I understand that there was another one made to a different
the Groove Master.
Right.
Which was a lower spec, lower price model,
Okay.
but an excellent guitar all around. How it came about is these two guitars you're looking at here, 1934 Gibson Super 400 and a newer modern Heritage made in the same factory, 225 Parsons Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Both of these guitars were made in the same shop. 1934, this one is recent. What struck me is how similar they are. You know, archtops were made like cellos. Mm-hmm. First archtops were cellos, I would imagine. But this guitar, 18-inch lower, about 25.5-inch scale, 1 11/16 nut width, 20 frets, medium jumbo frets. This guitar has those same specifications. It does have a cutaway and mounted in pickups, which were not available in 1934. So what strikes me is that they're virtually the same guitar. Maple back, carved maple back, figured curly maple, maple bent rim, and a carved Sitka spruce top. Same thing. I was a Heritage dealer for 35 years, and for about 10 years we were selling a Johnny Smith model, and then Johnny arrangement expired with Heritage and he went to Fender, and that didn't work out well. But anyway, I told the fellows at Heritage, I've always been an admirer of Kenny Burrell, and Kenny, every time I see a picture of him, he was playing a Florentine cutaway, a sharp cutaway, Super 400, dark sunburst with two humbuckers. And I always had that vision in my head, and I love that, what I call the 1960s electric archtop tone. And I think Kenny personified that tone, don't you?
Yeah.
So that electric archtop tone, you know, when he was with Jimmy Smith and all. So I contacted Kenny Burrell through Henry Johnson, a friend of mine and a Heritage player. And Henry had Kenny's number, and he called Kenny, and Kenny called me, and we had never met before. And I told him what I just told you. I just related that story. And he said, well, I've never done a signature model guitar. What does that entail? So we talked about it. And I said, let me send you one of these Heritages. And I did. I shipped him one. And I said, you critique it and tell me if you were to do a signature model, what would you change and what would you keep the same? And he did come, we met in Los Angeles, he lives in LA. We met and he and his wife had a list of notes, and Margaret, his wife, and we sat there and we designed together this model, the Super Kenny Burrell, and it was, you know, north of $6,000. So I said, well, you know, Kenny, and he's a music professor like yourself, I said, a lot of your students can't afford a $6,000 guitar. Let's do a lower spec model that we could sell for around $2,000 or less. That was my target. Well, by the time we finished designing the guitar, the Groove Master, he wanted to call it, 16-inch lower bow, shorter scale, wonderful guitar, excellent sounding guitar. It was a little north of $2,000, but not by much. But a great guitar, and people just love those guitars. So we sat there at the NAMM show, you know, at a coffee table, well, surrounded by a lot of heritage guitar models, and we designed this model and the Groove Master. But it's amazing that you look at this and you look at this, they really haven't changed much. I mean, they didn't have cutaways back then, and this de-arming didn't come into play until the late 40s. It wasn't available. The old boys that played these guitars just had to strike them hard, you know, and they did, right?
Yeah, they sure did.
I mean, you could open your car door in the parking lot and you could hear the bass, the guitar, and the drums. That was the rhythm. You could hear it going chomp, chomp, chomp. And just like you were doing, they hit a different chord every beat. You know? So they had to be really sharp.
Yeah, good old Freddie Green,
Yeah, and
Chuck,
many,
Chuck, Chuck.
and all those old Italian guys too. Almost, if you look at all the D'Angelico players through history, they're all Italian. It's amazing.
Great.
So I understand that these Kenny Burrell models aren't being made anymore by Heritage?
They will make you one, but it's a custom shop model now, so the prices have gone up. This is a very clean second-hand one, and sometimes you can score a really nice, clean second-hand one in the $5,000 range, and that's a real bargain for a magnificent guitar like this.
But I understand you're making an effort to try to get some second-hand ones in here in your shop. So if people check online and see that you've got one, they might be able to find one here.
They can do that, but also I'm lobbying the Heritage folks to bring back this model along with some others.
Right.
Because they're only making 6 standardized models right now. But they are planning to expand their model offering. And I'm hoping this will be one of them.
Great.
And I know Kenny is too.
Great. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome.